Hey, social media family, it's your girl Danielle Spencer. And this is a video I've been meaning to do for a while. So I'm finally taking the time and to do it today. And it's a little late, but hey, better late than never. Um, First off, let me say that and you've heard me say this before, but I am not an attorney. This is not legal advice, nor am I a paid actor, because what I'm going to talk about today is Legal Shield. I am a proud Legal Shield member and have been for years. Um, Personally, I've been covered or associated with Legal Shield for a long time. And I also, because for to be an author, I am a small business, so I also have it for my business. Now, one of the things that I think I've mentioned before, but I talk about in a book, is I went through a period where I had a lot of interactions with the court system and with inspector generals. And I had to do a lot of that work myself. I, Me personally, I didn't believe I could trust anyone else to do the work. I had hired attorneys and I just didn't trust them. So I ended up having to do majority of the work myself. And because I'm not an attorney, I never took any law classes or anything of that nature. So I relied on um, the legal counsel and information that I got from LegalShield. I would call them up and have them explain certain concepts. When I got to points where I was doing discovery, got information or got input from them for those specific events. Now, it is not the same as having an attorney because I've had an attorney not employment related. And if you can afford an attorney, it is always best and you can trust them and they're good. It's always best to have an attorney. However, most of us, especially middle class people, we can't afford to hire attorneys to represent us, especially in employment cases. One of the things that people need to understand about employment cases is that you have to pay the attorney up front, majority of time. There might be some instances where you don't. I have not seen that, but my experience has been that you have to pay them up front. And most of them require a hefty retainer fee, and their hourly rate is pretty high. Um, so it can get very expensive. And the illustrative example I always use is that let's say your attorney charges $300 an hour, and they are going to work on your case approximately 10 hours a month. That's $3,000 a month, about $36,000 annually. And most employment cases take at least 2 years to resolve. So you're looking about $72,000 right there. Now, most people do not have $72,000 or an extra $3,000 a month to pay to resolve an employment claim. Um, so they're either left with no legal representation or just having to stop fighting for the cause, even though they believe that they're in the right. And to me, I believe that bad actors know this. And so they use the legal system to kind of wait people out. If people look at what's going on now with various different people's employment being scrutinized or challenged and it taking some time to resolve, my personal opinion, that's done on purpose. What I believe and kind of based on what I went through is that even though you might be in the right and you can prove your case, it's going to be expensive for you to do so. So for people who work for large entities, who pockets are a little deep, um, do whatever they want, and then make you go through the long, arduous task of proving your case in court and having to pay for it. So imagine if you are a worker and you were fired and your firing was not legal or there were problems. Hey, unless you have money or someone can foot the bill for you, then you kind of have no legs to stand on because you have to pay this attorney or this law firm to represent you. And now, if you win your case, eventually you'll get all the money back. But if it's taken 2, 3, 4, even 5 years to resolve the case, if you don't have that extra 30 to $40,000 a year to pay, and that's just the hourly rate. That doesn't include court filings, if you have to do depositions, if they have to do legal research, any other the other fees that come with being represented. So me, like I said, I was able to use LegalShield to help me navigate those waters. Now, I don't think that LegalShield, that representation is where it should be, but it is a start. What I'm working or speaking with them about is maybe altering their business model somewhat to offer, especially under employment law, a la carte services where you can actually work with someone to um, get your brief together, maybe hire someone or a company to do legal research to look up precedents, which I have done that in the past, not using Legal Shield, but a different company. But my goal in doing this video is to tell people, again, my experience, that it's always best to kind of be prepared, because you never know. I think a lot of people, especially during this shutdown, didn't expect that they were going to get a RIF or going to get laid off or whatever may have happened. Um, if you have some type of legal bearing that you can use or a legal resource, that would help you be able to fight when improper employment actions are taken against you. It always is in your best interest. So again, I'm not paid by Legal Shield. I don't get paid uh, for me to bring in new members. I'm just talking about what was beneficial to me. And if people can gain something from my experience, that's awesome. Again, like I said, when I started this, uh, talking about my experiences, my goal is to educate and hopefully have people to learn from my experiences. Not that I don't expect people not to be able to go through or there not to be any issues going forward. But if you have the knowledge, you can go through it and be successful, like I believe I was, and I'm still standing and I still have a voice. So that's the video for this week. Just wanted to talk about my experience and the importance of having good legal support that you can trust. I'll see you guys later to talk about different topics.